Well, g'day guys. So back out here in the beautiful Aussie bush this weekend. We've come out here for an overnight swag camp. So I've got all my gear right up my swag on my back. This is a traditional way to sort of carry your gear out in the bush, like back in the 18 and 1900s. This is how swagmen would have carried the belonging. And once we get to camp, I'll show you guys how I've got this set up. But for now, we've got around about 4 kilometers to make our way upriver, and we'll do some fly fishing as well because you're back out in trout season, and there should be some trout in here, hopefully. So with any luck, we'll be able to grab one and cook it up for dinner. Pretty keen to make a move. It's a beautiful morning, lots of birds around this morning, so yeah, pretty keen to get amongst it. So yeah, I'm not quite sure how hopeful I am for the fishing for this trip. Well, they do stock trout in this river, and 2 years ago when I came to this section, there was heaps of trout. But when I came back last year, I came probably about 10 k's upriver from here, and I didn't see a single trout, and it was absolutely full of carp. So yeah, not quite sure. I haven't seen any carp yet, but also haven't seen any trout yet. So we'll have to see how we go. I really hope we can come across a few trout. It's so nice to grab one and cook it up for dinner. No matter how many times I come to this place, I never get sick of it. It's just so pretty. It's a beautiful place to go for a walkabout. The last time I was here, there's probably about a dozen trout when I first turned up to this deep pool here. And now I can't see a single one. I don't know where all the fish are gone. But actually, they camped here last time, you guys might remember. Just up there. And if you guys have been watching for a while, you'll remember that episode I tried to cook, what was it called? Potato rosti, I think it's called. I absolutely butchered it. That's probably like one of the worst things I cooked out here. But yeah, like I said, I haven't seen any fish yet. We'll keep making our way up and hopefully have better luck. I'm not going to hold my breath though. And trout fishing in Australia can be so fickle. Like, this is a pretty renowned trout stream, but just year by year it just changes so much. Like I said, we had a pretty good one for a few years, a couple of years ago, and the last couple of years have been pretty shocking. And like, they stock a fair few trout in here. I think they stock like up to 20,000 trout each year. I don't know what's happening to them. Surprised I haven't even seen any carp. Like I said last year when I was here, there was carp everywhere. So I don't even know where they've gone. Hello, Mr. Water Dragon. Surprised he hasn't buggered off. Usually when you get this close to him, they would have scattered so quickly. He's only about 2 meters away. There he goes. Just got some goats just up there. Now that is one thing you do see a lot of in this area, are goats. Pretty much like every trip I do when I come to this area, I come across some goats. And it's funny how unfazed they are by me. Like if that was deer or pretty much any other animal, they would just scatter, but these guys just like hang around. Like they're only about 40 or 50 meters away. Well, got my hopes up just then. I was just fishing this really deep little pocket just behind me, and I saw something come up and try to have a go at the fly, but it wasn't big enough to actually swallow it. So my guess is those are probably the fingerlings that they released about a month or two ago. So it's good to see there are a few little fish swimming around, but yeah, definitely nothing big enough to actually swallow the fly. There's a good little spot here as well, like nice little rapid, and it's a deep hole that's undercut the bank just behind me. So if there's going to be any fish hiding, they would definitely be in that hole. So hopefully those little guys grow up nice and big and strong for next year. Once again, last time I was here, there were heaps of trout in this pool. It's like some good structure under this log, and there's some rocks over there as well. But can't see any fish. Such a shame. Alright, so I've reached the area that I had marked on my maps, and man, it's really beautiful around here. Eh? You got like this cliff just above us. So nice little water holes around here with plenty of structure. So if there were fish, it would be a good spot to fish, but I haven't seen any trout yet. And yeah, just also some just really nice sort of gravel banks around here. Very beautiful. So I think we'll try and find a spot for camp around here. It's very rocky though, so I'm just going to try and find a spot that's relatively flat and not super uncomfortable to sleep on. I've got some more goats just over there. They haven't seen me yet. Try and sneak up and get a bit closer. Well, that answers that question. There is definitely carp up here. There's heaps of them in this pool. Pretty decent size as well. So that's probably a big reason of why there's not many trout around here anymore. They've obviously probably eaten a lot of the young trout and maybe driven a lot of the bigger trout out. Which is a pretty big shame. But I reckon we'll get camp set up, and a bit later on we'll go for a bit of a fish and see if we can catch one of the carp. I was just sussing out spots for camp, and I just saw a really big red belly black snake, so I've just run back to grab the camera. He's just over there sunning himself on the log. Well, he's a big boy. Now, red belly black snakes are venomous, but they generally like to keep their distance, and they're a pretty timid snake, unless you're sort of pissing them off. But yeah, generally they like to try and sort of stay away from you. But yeah, they are venomous, so if they do bite you, it is something you definitely got to try and get onto some anti-venom pretty quickly, because they can have a bit of a nasty bite. And they do swim as well, so he's probably wanting me to bugger off so he can swim across back to the shore. I was actually going to set up camp just here as well, so I might maybe move a little bit further down. But yeah, we're definitely back out in snake season. Only like 3 days ago I saw a red belly black snake go across my front porch just outside my study. Me and Laura were just sitting inside the study just chatting, and all of a sudden this snake just slithers across our front porch and then into the garden. So yeah, definitely back out in snake season. Yeah, definitely got to watch where you're walking. Well, I don't know if you guys can see that. There's a goanna just over on the other side of the bank. Man, lots of wildlife out today. Alright, so I'll give you guys a bit of a rundown of how I've got this swag system set up. Now just a bit of history for you guys in case you don't know. So swagmen were someone back in the 18 or 1900s who would move around the country looking for work, quite often at sheep or cattle stations. And yeah, this is basically how they would carry their gear and just sort of move from place to place. Then in the 1900s, like the early 1900s, as bushwalking started to become more popular, this is how a lot of people would go for overnight camps and multi-day camps. So it's started to phase out around the 1940s as sort of rucksacks and backpacks started to be invented. But traditionally, this is how a lot of people carried their gear out in the bush up until sort of like the mid-1900s. Now, this isn't a traditional swagman setup. I have brought out some lightweight modern gear. but I'm sort of just trying to emulate the swagman sort of ethos about how they carried their gear. But yeah, I have sort of switched out a few sort of modern items for this trip. Like I do have canvas swags, but for this trip I've actually bought my lightweight Alton Walkabout swag. So basically a bit of a rundown of how this is kind of set up. So here I've got my haversack, which I'll just sling over my shoulder, and basically inside here I've just got anything I want quick access to, like water, first aid kit, or a P.L.B., just things like that. If we take that off, so this is how the swag is sort of set up. So I'll spin around. You guys can see so the swag or the bedroll is rolled up. I've attached a carabiner down here and at the top, and then just got a leather strap that attaches to the top and bottom. Then on this shoulder we've got my shemagh, and that's also attached to a carabiner, and that comes down to this tucker bag, or it's also called a nose bag. But basically this is where I keep all my food. And generally I sort of have this riding a little bit higher, but for this trip I've actually attached a little carabiner just down here, and I've attached that to the swag. Because in the past when I've done these kinds of trips, I'm always noticing that the tucker bag kind of swings around and it gets a bit annoying. Whereas I've actually attached it to the swag at the bottom, and now I've basically just got two shoulder straps. And I've found this is a really comfortable way to carry the swag. Like it's really quite sturdy. This has actually worked really well for this trip. Everything's been really comfortable. Like the haversack does get a little bit heavy on that shoulder, but you can kind of just switch it around. But in terms of the actual swag, like this is actually really comfortable. And it also means you're walking upright, like you don't sort of have all your weight on your back sort of pulling you over, and which means you have to kind of counteract by doing this. This sort of like distributes the weight nice and easily, and you get to stand up nice and straight. So it's a really cool way to sort of carry your gear out in the bush. It's obviously a bit of a novelty. Backpacks definitely have their place, but yeah, it's a fun way to go for a camp. So I'll get this on the ground and we'll roll it out, and I'll show you guys what I've got inside. Alright, so starting with the haversack. This is by Swagman Outfitters. I'm not even sure if he still makes these anymore. I've had this for quite a few years now. But inside this top pocket, I just keep like spare batteries, some keys, got my Garmin InReach. I've also got a little tin here, which I've got some fishing line, as well as like some hooks and a couple of lures in case like I come across some carp or want to go carp fishing. And then in the main pocket, I've got my fly fishing gear, as well as a GoPro, then a 1 litre stainless steel water bottle, as well as the 750ml nesting cup. So that's everything for inside the haversack. I try and not put too much in here because it can get a little bit heavy, so I try and keep this as light as possible. Basically just anything I need quick access to throughout the day. And as for the swag, so as I said, I've got some carabiners attached to the straps of the swag. Then we've just got a leather strap here, as well as a shemagh that's also attached to that carabiner. And then yeah, that's just all my food inside this tucker bag, which I'll unclip from this carabiner. And so on the outside, I've just got my Cedar Summit fry pan. And if we unclip the swag, so this is where I keep most of my gear. So I've got a 3x3 meter tarp. I've got my first aid kit. I've got a silky Gomboy saw. I've got the essentials, which is a stone and wood beer. I've got a little Cedar Summit pouch which has all my batteries, like my head torch and power banks. Another Cedar Summit pouch which has my water filtration system, as well as like a knife, cutlery set, and just some bits of cordage. As for the clothes, I've just got basically what I'm wearing now, as well as merino wool thermals, my Patagonia down jacket, and then as for the actual swag, this is the bivvy or the swag that I co-designed with the guys over at Alton, and this is the Alton Walkabout swag. It's actually back in stock now. It's been sold out for most of this year, but I believe they just got a new shipment of this the other week. So if you guys want to get your hands on one, yeah, definitely jump on the website, because I'm sure it's going to sell out again. It's already sold out twice. Yeah, then we'll get it set up over in the shade there, and I'll show you guys my sleep system. Now the swag does come with poles. I generally only ever run the head pole just to keep the fabric off my face. But if you do want to leave the poles at home, we have included a webbing loop here, so you can attach some cordage to that and then attach it to like a ridge line, and that way you can get the fabric off your face. That's for the sleep system. So I've got two Cedar Summit Eros pillows. This is the down pillow and then the premium pillow. I've got the Cedar Summit Ember -1 quilt. I think it should get down to around about 7 degrees tonight, so this will keep me nice and toasty. And as for the sleep mat, I've got the Cedar Summit Etherlite XR insulator mat. I think this has an R value of around about 4.2, I believe, so more than enough for tonight. And I think this is going to be keep me really nice and toasty and comfortable tonight. So yeah, as you can see, it is a pretty lightweight setup for a swag trip. Generally, you're always using canvas swags and sort of wool blankets for more of a traditional setup, but sometimes it's nice to mix things up, and just goes to show you can sort of do, I guess, like essentially a traditional swagman trip, but still utilizing like modern gear and materials. So I don't think I'll run a tarp above me tonight. I think it's meant to be nice and clear, and you really can delay in the swag and just look up the stars and fall asleep that way. It should be a nice night. Alright, let's see if we can catch a carp. I've actually just seen a couple just jump out of the water just then, so hopefully they're feeding. I've just chucked a big fat streamer on the fly rod. I've never actually fly fished for carp, but apparently they're meant to be fun on the fly, so yeah, pretty keen to give it a go and hopefully we can land one. You can see one carp just out there. It's pretty far out though. Just trying to get my fly out to him. I've chucked a split shot on just to give a bit more weight to try and get it out there and get it deeper. Right in front of him. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on, mate. Nah. You can see probably about 4 or 5 of them out there now. Oh, come on. Looks like they're looking at it. Man, being a bit difficult, aren't they? Can't seem to get one to bite. I really feel like I should have been fishing earlier. It's like so hard to see now with all the shadowing. Earlier on I could see so many carp, whereas now I can barely see any. I'm sure they're down there, it's just, it's very a lot of reflections and a lot of shadows. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what to do. I'm just using this olive streamer. It's got a little orange bead on it. Yeah, it's not having any luck. Alright, we're not having any luck with the fly rod. And I did bring this little tin here with some fishing line and some lures and some hooks. So what I might do, I might get this fishing line and wrap it around my bottle, and that way I can sort of use that as a bit of a hand reel, and then we'll chuck one of these lures on and hopefully we can entice the carp with that, because that fly is just not having any luck. So I've just tied the line underneath the lip of the lid. Just gonna wrap the line around the bottle and hopefully that should cast alright. So there we go. Got a little curl towel soft plastic on, so let's see how this goes. And it's actually cast pretty well. A lot better than I was expecting. I really should have been fishing earlier. It's like, honestly, like impossible to see them now. It's just too dark, too shadowy. Instead, I decided to have a siesta earlier. Probably slept for like 45 minutes. I was feeling pretty tired and a little bit crook, because Colby's crook at the moment from daycare, and so he's giving me something as well. So Yeah, in hindsight, probably should have been fishing a little bit earlier. Well, no deal. Not a single bite once again. I feel like the last few trips have been pretty shocking when it comes to fishing. Hopefully we can break that drought pretty soon. I think we'll go back, we'll get a fire going and we'll crack a beer and enjoy the arvo. Well, cheers guys. That sun is just set, so it should be dark here any minute now. Man, it's been a really nice day today. Really enjoyed it. As I said earlier, it's like one of my favourite places to go for a walkabout. It's just such a pretty place. Like having all these she oaks sort of lining the riverbank, and all the birds as well. Like hopefully you guys have heard it through the audio, but there are just so many birds in this place. It's absolutely beautiful to go for a wander and just listen to all the birds. Basically from sunrise to sunset, it just doesn't stop, which is really nice. Like I was laying on my swag this afternoon, about 3:30, just having a little siesta. And yeah, just listening to all the birds, it was lovely. It's a really nice way to sort of spend the afternoon, just kill some time. You definitely know when you're getting old, when you start to become a bird watcher. In the last couple of years, I really started to appreciate birds. I swear there's a meme about that, eh? As soon as you hit like your mid-30s, you pretty much turn into a bird watcher. But yeah, plenty of wildlife out here as well, which is nice. Like seeing that snake, that was cool, and the goanna, all the kangaroos, and even the goats. That was pretty cool to see. Unfortunately, it would have been nice to see some trout, but honestly, bloody carp, they are absolutely taking over our New South Wales rivers. Like they're absolutely everywhere now, which is a real shame because this used to be such a great trout fishery, and now all I can see is carp. So yeah, it's a bloody shame. I don't know what we're going to do about it, eh? Apparently they're talking about maybe releasing like a virus sort of through the carp population. I don't know sort of where they're at with that, but you really do need to do something to get on top of it because honestly they're just absolutely taking over, which is a real shame. Anyway, pretty keen to get some grub on. I'm just building up a good bed of coals now, and we've got some lamb chops to cook up, which I'm really looking forward to. I haven't had lamb for ages, so yeah, pretty keen to get on the fire. Yeah, so for dinner tonight we're just going to keep it pretty simple. Just got the off-grid potatoes and saltbush, as well as 2 lamb chops and some mint jelly. I always get questions about how I hike in my meat, and all I do is basically just freeze this the night before and then just let it defrost in my pack on the hike in. Well, I forgot to bring a plate and I need to cook the potatoes in the fry pan. I'm just going to pop the chops on this rock. Just pop the potatoes in the pan. I'll just heat up the potatoes on the fire. We don't need to cook them for long because they're pretty much already cooked. You just basically need to reheat them. Now you can't have lamb without mint jelly. If you guys have never tried this before, it is so good. Pretty much like grew up on this stuff. Mum used to make lamb a lot growing up. We would always have mint jelly on it. Well, that is a pretty simple dinner, but I'm not complaining. Alright, I'm going to eat in peace. I'll see you guys in the morning. Well, good morning guys. And such a nice way to wake up with all the birds. There's so many birds out this morning. There's also a family of goats just making their way across the hill, across the river from us. probably only about 40 or 50 meters away, and for the last like 45 minutes I've just been laying in bed just like watching them just sort of make their way across the hill. It's just been pretty cool. But I swear, like, goats' danger awareness is next to zero. Like, I'm so close to them, pretty visible, and they had absolutely no idea I was here for like the longest time. It wasn't until I sort of got out of bed and started walking around that actually caught on to me. They're not the smartest of animals. You can see like why they're one of the easiest animals to bow hunt, because you just get so close to them. But yeah, had a nice night last night, just laying in the swag. Lots of stars out, which was nice. Although I woke up a fair few times last night. I'm feeling pretty crook because Colby's in daycare at the moment. And yeah, I swear like every second week he's coming home with like some new sickness. So unfortunately I've caught it this week, which isn't the funnest. But they're pretty keen to get some brekkie into me. This morning we just got one of these off-grid cherry acai bowls, which I haven't had this one before, so pretty keen to see how it tastes. I don't know if you guys can see that. But yeah, it looks and smells pretty nice. So just got to add 130 mils of water. That looks pretty yum. That's nice as well. Well, I might fish my brekkie, and then maybe we'll go for a little cast and see if we can catch ourselves a carp this morning. Well, I spotted a few big carp just in that deep pool just over there, and I managed to get the lure like right in front of their noses, and they basically just stuck their nose up at it. They were not interested at all. So yeah, a bit of a shame. I'm not going to waste any more time trying to fish for them. It's starting to get a bit late, so I think we'll go back and we'll start packing up camp. Now to pack up the swag, I've just deflated the air out of the pillows as well as the air mattress, and I've just zipped up the fly mesh, and then just with this top fly, I'm just going to zip that up towards the top, but I'm still going to leave, I'm not going to zip it right up, so I'm going to leave an opening up here to allow the air to escape as I sort of roll the swag up. And then just with the hood of the swag, I'm just going to fold that back and then just fold the sides in a little bit. I'm just going to place my items at the bottom of the swag. Let's pull my puffer down first, just my merino wool long johns, so my tarp, first aid kit, some pouches. Now because the down sleeping bag is going to still have quite a lot of loft in it, it is going to be a little bit tricky to roll it up, but you just kind of got to do it slowly and just slowly sort of squeeze all that air out. Now generally what I like to do is I try and sort of wrap a bit of the swag material just over the edges, so that way when I do roll it, it's kind of keeping all this contained and these aren't going to fall out the side. There you go. Remember, boys and girls, leave no trace. Alright guys, well as always I want to say massive thanks to all you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Hooroo!